If you know anybody that has any aspirations, like I said earlier, about getting debt free, then you definitely want to get them subscribe to the channel and get involved in these conversations we're going to have hopefully every Wednesday night if the Lord says the same. So, like I was telling you guys earlier, the plan I'm going to talk to you all about tonight is a plan that I've been using now for a couple years, and it has helped me to eliminate all of my consumer debt with the exception of my home mortgage, which I'll probably pay off in about the next 8 or 9 years on a 30-year mortgage. My investments are out the roof. My savings and my retirement is out of the roof. And everything has happened all because of the plan that I'm going to talk to you all about tonight. So, once again, go ahead, drop your city, drop your state. Let us see who you are, where you're chiming in from. And also, for those of you who have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead now, hit the subscribe button, go ahead and like this video, and also share it with anybody that you think can benefit from, because I promise you 2022 is going to be the year that we get our finances in order and go ahead and get ourselves debt free. So guys, I want to go ahead and share this information with you very briefly. It's not a very difficult plan, but as you'll see, we always say that any plan is better than no plan at all. So the plan that I actually have for you all, I call it the Wealth Generation Blueprint. It's a very simple plan, but it gives you very distinct details on exactly how to take care of each step along the way to help you get where you want to go when it comes to being financially free. And trust me, guys, do you think paying bills is stressful, especially when you don't know where the next dollar is coming from? So this system is going to help you in that area. It's going to help you in that area because it's going to show you systematically, step by step, how to get out of debt, regardless of where you are. If you're a person that makes a lot of money, then great. This is going to help you. If you're a person that does not make a lot of money, then great. It's going to help you there too. But it is a step by step plan to help you to obtain generational wealth. Now, for those of us who are Christian, the Bible talks to us about generational wealth. It says that a man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So basically, that's 3 generations. That's you, your child, and your grandchild. But in order to do that, first thing you need to do is make sure that when it comes to financial literacy and financial education, that you are where you need to be, meaning that you are astute, you understand how money generates money, and you're able to pass that information down to the next generation. So, what's the purpose of what we're talking about tonight? It's very simple. Our wealth building game plan is a detailed plan on how to apply discretionary cash flow to your finances each month to obtain financial success. Now, financial success for me, ladies and gentlemen, is simple. It is having enough money to be able to take care of your current lifestyle as well as your future lifestyle. Now, your current lifestyle, if you ask me, that is having a roof over your head, having food on your table, having clothes on your back. It's all the basic necessities that you need right now in order to live your best life. But you also need to prepare for your future lifestyle. Now, your future lifestyle, you can only do that through investing. And that's making sure that when you are no longer able to work or you no longer desire to work, that you have enough money saved up to be able to last you for the rest of your lifetime. Now, back when our grandparents were alive, they did that through pensions and things like that. But we know those things no longer exist. And through modern medicine, we are living a lot longer now than we used to. So we have to make sure that we have enough money, enough cash flow that we can take care of our current lifestyle as well as our future lifestyle. Now, our system is going to give you the financial tools you need to acquire additional discretionary cash flow. Minor arguments can be made versus our plan versus another, but the main point is for you to have a quality written executed plan, because trust me, a good plan is better than no plan at all. Additionally, our plan is great because it helps you to get extra cash flow to begin getting positive movement in your finances. We're talking full speed ahead. We're not looking back. We're not making excuses. We're doing what we need to do to get ourselves where we need to be. So here we are. Step number 1, the beginning. Step number 1 says this: You need to acquire as much cash flow as possible each and every month. Business income, wage income, less taxes, adjusting your W-4, getting rid of some of your expenses, and eliminating your debt. And you want to apply all of that money to this particular system. Now, that means if you need to get a side job, you need to get a side hustle, anything that you can do, because step one is the wealth of the income accumulation stage. You want to try to get as much money as you can in this step. Okay. Now, we're not getting it to go out there and blow it again. We're getting it just because we want to start acquiring income, acquiring cash flow, so that we'll have enough money to go ahead and work this system to the next step. So remember that step number one is that you want to stack as much money as you can, either through businesses, through wage income, through taxes, or any other means, any other legal means that you can use to actually stack your money right. Now, step number two is while you're stacking that money, you want to come up with what we call a beginner's emergency fund. And the word you need to remember there is beginners. What is a beginner's emergency fund? I say $3,000. Now, there are a lot of people who will say different amounts of money. I know Dave Ramsey says $1,000. There are some people that say $1,500, but I say $3,000. And here's why. Reason number one, it's a mind thing. If you can acquire $3,000, now it shows you that you have discretionary funds that you were not looking at first. It's a moral victory. It's a moral victory. Also, there's not a lot of things that can happen to you that are unexpected that are going to cost you more than $3,000. Okay, high water heater goes out, $3,000 can cover that. Most kids' expenses, as far as medical bills and things like that, $3,000 can cover that. Most vehicle expenses, most home repairs, $3,000 can cover it. So you want to make sure you have enough in your emergency fund so that if anything happens, you have enough money to be able to cover it. Okay. Now you want to keep that money separate from your checking account, because you know how things work. If you see that money on a day-to-day basis, you're going to swear up and down that that money is available for you to go out and spend. So we want to keep that money separate. Now, my recommendation is to put it somewhere other than a regular checking account or a savings account. And here's why. Checking accounts and savings account does not give you a lot of interest on your money. So you want to put this emergency fund somewhere to where the money is actually growing for you. The money is working for you. So my recommendation would be either a money market account or a municipal bond. And right now, to be honest with you, they are not growing at the rate that I would want them to either. It used to be where a money market account would actually grow at a pretty decent rate compared to a checking account. But right now, with the market doing what it's doing, even the money market accounts are not what they need to be. So if you need to find a location or an area where you can store your money so that you get the maximum bang for your buck, we have financial experts that can help you to identify where you need to place your money. If you're worried about trying to figure it out, you can get with me after this live. You can email me, you can call me on Facebook, whatever you need to do, and we can try to figure out where we need to get that money to. But you need to get $3,000 for your emergency fund. It needs to be somewhere other than checking a savings account, ideally a money market account. But like I said, we have experts who do this thing all day, every day, that can help you to decide where you need to put that money to. All right. Next, you want to start investing in your retirement. Now, I consider your retirement investing and your after retirement investment two different things. Everybody needs to start preparing for retirement as early as possible. So most companies now actually give you 401k options and things like that. If you have a job that has a 401k, and if you're able to do it, you definitely need to take advantage of it. My suggestion would be to take advantage of it and max it out as soon as possible. But even if you can't max it out, you want to put at least 5% in there. 5% is a nice starting point so that you can actually begin to grow your retirement account. Because understand, there's going to be a time in the very near future where one of a couple of things are going to happen. Number one, you would no longer want to work. It happens. I know some of you feel that way right now. Number two, your body would no longer be able to work. We're not getting any younger. So the day and time will come to where our bodies will begin to fail us and we won't want to go to work on a daily basis, or we won't be able to go to work on a daily basis. And number three, as hard as this is to believe, and I know you guys love your jobs and you think that your supervisors would never let you go, there's going to come a time where your presence at the job will no longer be needed. Either because they found somebody to do it cheaper, they found somebody younger, they can do a better job. But there will be a point in time to where your presence on your job will no longer be needed. So you want to go ahead and invest so that when that day and time comes, financially, you're still in a good spot. So you can do your 401ks, your 403bs, you got your IRAs, you got your Roths, you got your Simples, you got your SEPs, and a plethora of other different things. But case in point is that you want to start investing in your retirement as early as possible. Compound interest is your friend. And the sooner you start investing in your retirement account, the more that money will be able to grow and the quicker you can start seeing major results in this plan. Now, with step number 4, now that you have your emergency fund, now that you have your retirement set up, we want to start getting you out of debt. And the reason why we want to do that is because think about this. How much money would you have if you had no debt? I'll say it again. How much money would you have if you had no debt? So what we're going to do, we're going to help you to get a debt elimination plan going. And our goal is for you to get rid of all of your consumer debt with the exception of your mortgage. That's what I was just telling you guys a little bit earlier. That's the point that I have gotten to now. I am completely debt free with the exception of my home mortgage. That is the only thing at this point in time that I still owe. And I'm looking forward to getting rid of that as well. So we want to put together a debt elimination plan. For a lot of people, they use the snowball effect and things like that to where they can escalate the time that they can pay to get out of debt. But if you need help putting a debt elimination plan together, once again, you can hit me up or hit anybody up that shares this video with you, and we can definitely help you get a debt elimination plan going for you. Step number 5 is that if you are not maxing out your retirement, we want you to start doing that right now. So I think it was step number 2 or 3 where we talked about, actually it was step number 3 where we talked about getting your retirement plan set up. Now in that step, we gave you the option of if you could max it out, go ahead and do it. If you were not able to max it out, we wanted you to do a minimum contribution of 5%. If you could not max it out, we want you to do at least 5%. But now that we're in step number 5, we've accumulated cash flow. We got our beginner's emergency fund going. We got our retirement plan going. We have eliminated all of our debt with the exception of our mortgage. So now we want to go ahead and we want to max out our retirement plan. Now you can get with your human resources provider if you're using your 401k through your job and find out exactly what their maxed out plan is. If you're using somebody outside of your job, then get with your financial advisor and see what their max out policy is. But you definitely want to go ahead and max it out, at least to the point where they're matching it at. And you also want to find out from your HR provider what percentage is the max out percentage. Very, very important that you find that out. You definitely, if nothing else, you want to make sure that you are maxing it out to the point that they are matching it at. All right. Step number 6. Now, by the time you get to step number 6, man, you got a lot of great things going for you. So at step number 6, you have a lot of money just laying around that has no purpose. We want to make sure that every dollar you have has a purpose. So at step number 6, we want to build you a full emergency fund. Okay, we want to build you what we call a full emergency fund. Now, what an emergency fund is that at minimum, I'm going to emphasize that at minimum, we want you to build an emergency fund for at least 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. I know what you're saying. How in the heck am I going to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses just laying around? Well, think about it. And step number one, you got a lot of cash flow together. And step number two, you started your mini emergency fund. And step number three, you actually started investing for your retirement. Step number four, you eliminated all of your debt with the exception of your mortgage. That freed up a lot of money for you, friends. Step four freed up a lot of money for you guys. Now we're at step number five. You got your retirement maxed out. So at step number six, you have cash flow now. You no longer have income, you have cash flow. Because what we've done at this point is that you've eliminated all of your debt with the exception of your mortgage. Remember back in step number one, when we started increasing our cash flow, we figured out ways to lower our taxes, we lowered our debt, you got with our experts, and we figured out how to minimize your expenses. And now we're going to introduce you to having business income. So now that you have multiple streams of income coming in, also, it gets easier once you start eliminating that debt. Okay. Step number 7. This is a big one for a lot of people. This is actually where I am right now. I'm between step 7 and step 8. If you're renting a home, we want you to go ahead and buy one. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be a homeowner. Whether you realize it or not, you're paying exuberant amounts of money every single month for an apartment or for a rental home that you would never own. There's no return on your investment there. So if you are renting a home, we want you to go ahead and purchase a home. All right. Now, if you are already buying your home, use all the extra money that you have laying around and go ahead and start expediting the note on your mortgage. Now we're trying to pay that mortgage off. We're on the home stretch to being completely and totally debt free. That's where we want to be. And step 7 is where we expedite the process to go ahead and start getting yourself out of debt, out of that home mortgage, and really being able to live totally debt free. And at that point, number 8 becomes very, very simple. At number 8, you have multiple streams of income coming in, and you also have no debt. Multiple streams of income and no debt. So at this point, we want you to start building your investment portfolio. This is something that you do in addition to your retirement account. Your retirement account, to some degree, we want to be a safe investment, somewhere to where there's not much volatility there. Once you start investing in your portfolio, may it be stocks, bonds, real estate, mutual funds, ETFs, annuities, so on and so forth. Crypto now is a way that people are doing it. Now you should have extra cash because you are completely debt free. And at this point, through the help of your financial advisor or your professional, you should have acquired some financial knowledge. So now you're able to make good decisions going forward about where your money should go. Okay. Now you should be making good decisions about where your money should go. And that's it, guys. That's it. It's a step-by-step plan, very simple, very detailed, that gets you from step 1 to step 7. There's no time limit. You pace yourself what you're comfortable with, but we also want you to try to get there as quickly as possible, if that makes sense. Pace yourself, but at the same time, get there as fast as possible. Now, I'm telling you, is it going to be hard? It's going to be a change in your thought process. It's going to be different. Nothing worthwhile is ever going to be easy. So it's going to take you a while to get where you want to go. But once you start and you begin to build that momentum, I promise you, you're going to get there a lot faster than you want to. So our team realizes, guys, that there are additional financial concerns and needs beyond the ones that we address. Now, you're going to need life insurance, health insurance, disability insurance, and things like that. And we actually have professionals that can help you with each and every one of those things we talked about. Now, what we're focusing on primarily is increasing your cash flow and your financial knowledge. We believe that knowledge is power, and you have to do everything humanly possible to increase your knowledge as it pertains to money. Now, when you're trying to get everything done, what we want you to do is we want you to consult a competent and qualified financial professional. There are systems out there that try to teach you how to do all these things, ladies and gentlemen. But let me tell you, when it comes to your finances, The rules change rapidly. The rules change rapidly. So you want to make sure that you have a financial advisor, somebody that you trust, somebody that can meet your needs to help guide you through the process. Now, what I recommend is that you try at least 3 different professionals before choosing one. You want to find somebody that's knowledgeable in your particular area, whether you are a W 2 earner or a 1099 earner, whether you have long term goals, short term goals. You want to interview those people and make sure that they are what you want and what you need and that you're comfortable with them. Now, another thing that you may want to do that I do often is that you may want to read books on investing, books on networking, books on cryptocurrency, books on anything that helps you to gain more of an edge when it comes to your finances. Knowledge is power, and there are a lot of publications out there that would absolutely help you to get where you want to go when it comes to your finances. So tonight's video is going to be very, very quick, not a long, drawn out thing. But I guarantee, guys, if you actually work these steps one by one, work these steps, that you're going to see positive movement in your finances. So just to review these steps one by one. Step number 1, acquire as much cash flow as possible. Figure out ways to get more income in, figure out how to lower your taxes, how to increase your credit score. Increasing your credit score helps you get more cash flow into your home. Eliminating debt. All of that is ways that you can accumulate more cash flow. Now, step number 2 was for you to get your beginner's emergency fund, which is, in my opinion, $3,000. $3,000 is enough that can cover any expense that you may need, that can hold you over so that you won't have to go back down that rabbit hole. Step number 3, you want to start investing in your retirement account. Whatever it is that they offer at your job, you definitely want to get involved in that, at minimum up to 5%. If you can max it out, that's absolutely great. But if not, 5% works for that step. Step number 4, create a debt elimination plan, and you want to pay off all consumer debt with the exception of your home mortgage. At this point, we're trying to free up cash flow. And a lot of people will say, well, Ken, why not the mortgage? Why don't we knock out the mortgage? Typically, your mortgage has the lowest interest rate of anything that you purchase. May it be your student loans, may it be your vehicle, whatever it may be. Typically, your home mortgage is the one, even though it has the largest balance, it has the lowest interest rate. So we want to knock out everything that we have, all of our credit cards, any bills that we may have, with the exception of our home mortgage. Now, in step number 5, we're actually going to start maxing out our retirement. Should have a little bit more cash flow at that point. We're a little bit more comfortable. We've got some bills knocked out, so we should have more cash flow to go ahead and max out our retirement plan if we didn't do so in step number 3. In step number 6, you want to go ahead and get 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Once again, this should not be hard because you've eliminated all your debt and you have more cash flow coming in. So at this point, 3 to 6 months minimum. I would say push for 12 months if at all possible. But you definitely want to get a full emergency fund at that point. Step number 7 is simple. If you're renting, we want you to become a buyer. If you're buying, we want you to go ahead, use all your discretionary funds to go ahead and knock that mortgage out. Our goal in step number 7 is to become totally debt free. And last but not least, step number 8 is for you to start building your investment portfolio much larger, above and beyond your retirement. Now, we gave you all the options there, and the gambit is wide. You can do a lot of things here in step number 8. But now we want you to start doing above and beyond what you would normally do in your retirement account. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the plan. This plan has worked for me. This plan has me at a point right now, like I mentioned earlier, where I am completely debt free with the exception of my home mortgage. I am in between step 7 and step 8 right now. I have my investments going, but I'm also putting extra money in to go ahead and expedite my home mortgage so that I can become totally debt free and actually not be a slave to the dollar anymore. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my wealth building game plan. If you have any questions about this plan, hit me up in the comments. If you have me on Facebook, I am Ken Lawrence on Facebook. You can hit me there. Or if one of my business partners by chance shared this video with you, go ahead and reach out to them and they will be able to help you out as well as I would. The thing that I want to leave you guys with is this: the actors, the actresses, the athletes, the performers that you see on television that make a lot of money all have one thing in common. And the one thing that they have in common is that they have professionals who work for them on their behalf. Now, I know there are a lot of stories out there about how a lot of athletes and actors go broke. It's because they don't understand their money. The professionals that we have on our team are going to do two things. Number one, they're going to help you get in the best situation financially that you've ever been in your life. How do they do that? Tax minimization, credit repair, debt elimination, investing. You don't have to do any of it. Our experts help you every step of the way to get where you want to go. So just like LeBron James, just like your favorite actor, or just like your favorite actress, now you have access to professional financial planners who are going to help you with everything that we talked about tonight. If that sounds good to you, put it in the comment section. I'm ready. Put in the comment section, I'm ready. If one of my business partners shares this with you, then get with them and let them know that you're ready. But either way, guys, 2022 is going to be the year of receipts. It's going to be the year that we're actually going to live the very best existence for ourselves. And we have to get our money in order to do so. Trying to do it by yourself is taxing. When you have financial advisors that are going to teach you the rules and execute while they're teaching you, the game becomes a lot easier. So once again, quick video tonight. Didn't want to hold you guys up very long, but if the information that you heard tonight sounds like something that you know that you need, if it sounds like something that can actually add value to your life, then either get with myself or get with the person that shared this video with you. They'll be more than happy to show you every step of the way how this thing works. We have a community of people who are all on the same trajectory. We all want to get out of debt. We all want to raise our credit scores. We all want to pay as little in taxes as possible. And we all want to see our investments skyrocket. And we're going to surround you with a support system as well as financial professionals to help you every step of the way. So get back with me. Get back with one of my business partners if they share this with you, and tell them that you are totally interested in our wealth building game plan. Guys, I will see you next week. We're going to talk more about finances every single Wednesday. I'll let you guys know what the topic is going to be as soon as I get everything together. But if I don't hear from you between now and then, I will see you guys next Wednesday as we continue to build wealth together. You guys have a great evening.